Now, Padraic, Westport man.
The Westport man.
Born in?
Born in Altamount Street.
In what year?
1935. 12th of May 1935.
Yeah. And who was in the house you were born in now, do you know?
It was Bridgie Philbin. I think Tony Scott is living in it.
Oh, that was his house, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was born there, and the father worked as a guard on the railway, Great Western Railway, or whatever they were called then, now CIE. And my mother was born in the barrack in Fahy. She was Gallagher. So
her father was obviously a guard.
Right?
A guard. Her father was.
It was an old barrack, was gone completely.
Okay, it was taken over, yeah.
Deserted, and the family lived down near the Legamutton Lake, down around that area.
Okay.
And the ruins are still, well, they're overgrown now. And he must have got the barrack for some reason, but he got the barrack, and they lived from there. So
how many was in your family then? And
right?
how many of you was in the Conlon family?
In the Conlon family, there was 5 of us.
5 of you.
But our third child that my mother had, Penny was her name. We were going down to Fahy to see my grandparents, and she got sick going down in the car. Now, the cars in those days were very scarce, but the neighbour had one who was leaving us down. And she got very sick, and while we were there, and I remember the 2 memories I have of that area. When they asked Mary Catherine Kelly, which is now Mary Catherine Moore, if she would go down and see the priest. The priest was down in the hollow, way below, not where the church is now. It's under the playing field. It was under the playing field. And they asked Mary Catherine to go down and tell the priest, who was Father Philbin, a very holy priest, so I believe. He was a character in the church, you could see out the back of his head. But anyway, I went down with her, seen the priest. I must have been only about probably 4 at the time or something. And went in and seen the priest. So he walked out, and you had to go up these stiles in the wall to get up. He looked up at the barrack and he says, "Ye head off up to the house now," he said, "because I do an awful lot better if I went to the church and said a prayer." Yeah. So he must have known she had died.
And had she died in the car?
She died in the house.
In the house?
In the house, yeah.
And what she died from?
Don't know.
Nobody ever knew, no?
I never knew. It was supposed to be sunstroke, but I don't know.
Oh, probably sunstroke. Maybe meningitis.
The one memory of that funeral will never leave my mind. And that was, it was a big funeral. There were a lot of people out from Westport, because the father knew an awful lot of people on the railway. But I was in the back of the car looking out, and I seen my mother and my grandmother standing in the doorway, and both of them bawling, crying. They couldn't go to the funeral. The first death in any, seemingly it was a law, the first death in any family in those days, you couldn't go to the funeral.
Never heard that.
But that was crazy.
It was crazy, wasn't it? Yeah.
How that law came in, or what, I don't know.
Or maybe it was a tradition rather than a law, was it?
Right?
It might have been a tradition rather than a law, was it?
Probably, whatever.
Yeah.
I'd say it was maybe an Irish...
Certainly seems strange anyway, yeah.
It was a strange law. Anyway. But that was one of the main things.
That was a sad memory, wasn't it? It still lives with you.
Huh?
It still lives with you.
It does.
It does, yeah.
I just won't forget it. Can't forget it.
And you said there was a second memory. What was the second memory you had down there?
Well, the second memory was going into when I was at the Christian Brothers. I went to the convent first of all, and then I went to Christian Brothers. And there was 3 of us, Patsy Crawford, and Hugh Ryan and myself, the three of us were pal around together. But Patsy used to play in the, we were in second year at the time, and upstairs, and Patsy was playing in goal for the CBS. And he was a terrific goal. He was a wild man. He'd just stop anything. He'd go for anything. So we decided one Sunday the three of us would go up to Coynes Fields, which is now a building estate. It's on the left-hand side as you go into Allergan.
That's Carabeg, yeah.
Yeah, and so there was no football match there. So we crossed over the wall into Pat O'Malley's field, which is now Father Angeles Park. And there was a rugby match going on there. So we stood for a while because Hugh's brother was playing. So we stayed for a while. They went into school the next morning, and the three of us were called out, stood in front of the class. You were watching a foreign game yesterday. You're not going to play anymore for the club, for the school. They stopped us.
And that was the end of it.
That was the end.
No more, never relented.
But what happened after that? We were we'd always go to school early, into the class early. There was a lot of noise up the end. So they picked on us three, brother. He picked on us three. So we looked at one another. So somebody went and got the leather. He came out and we hold out the right hand. And we got 3 slaps on the right, and they was up the wrist in those days. And he couldn't get no sense. We didn't flinch.
Yeah.
Without the other hand, he had a heart problem. So next thing, when nothing happened, he went to hit Patsy on the leg. He gave him one belt on the leg, and he collapsed.
Did
The blood pressure got him. So we were barred from playing GAA. So if you took up rugby, Patsy went to England. And I never heard of him after. I didn't know he was someplace in England. And I started, went to school. I went up the Tech. And there was a teacher, one teacher that I stuck in my mind. Bill Damery was his name. Tall, fair-haired man. And he was doing mechanical drawing and also mechanical engineering. So I was taught a lot by him. He was so thorough in explaining things. It was terrific. So eventually I got a job in a shoe factory, that closed. I got a job at Cox, Walkin or Cox. And I just started from there.
They were builders?
They were builders, yeah. They got a lot of work from the church. I think Walkin had some connection with the clergy, and that's how they got it.
Okay.
But I learned a lot from
And where was Walkin from?
Walkin. I think he was Ballyhonus or someplace like that. I'm not sure.
And the 2 Coxes were 2 brothers, were they?
Yeah, they came from Kilmena.
Which of them were they?
Right?
Which of the Coxes were they?
They were Tommy Cox's parents, brothers.
Brothers, okay, yeah.
Also, Minnie Cox, which was Padraic Conlon's wife. There was another sister. There's a good few of them lasted long.
Yeah.
I think.
And you serve your time there? Or?
I served my time there, and the man in the workshop, which was a carpenter, was John Joe Gibbons Tiger, we called him. And he had an accident while he was young, and he lost one eye. And if you start banging anything or throwing anything, he would go to town on you.
No, you wanted to keep the other one. You wanted to mind the other one, yeah.
And Frank Cox was, I would say, he probably was the brains, that as I know him, because he, they brought me out on site, and I was doing site work wrong. I set out.
Can you remember many jobs you done now?
Right?
Can you remember many of the jobs you did do?
Oh, the first job was in the workshop was trusses for a church down in Ballycorrick.
Okay.
And we made all, and those trusses came out of the big building, it was the largest stone building in British Isles, I think, on the right hand side as you go down to the quay,
In one of the warehouses, yeah.
one of the warehouse.
The big one. Still in the photographs, yeah.
The would you believe there's 2 cellars underneath that?
Goes down as well. 2 basements.
And one of them is completely filled with bodies from the plague we had here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was covered in.
Mm.
But
So that,
anyway, the timbers we used was Paddy Kelly took out the timbers and cleaned them, and we made the trusses and everything. So that was the first. We went to built a house in Cairn for Father Moore. We did a convent in Balmullet as well, the nuns.
brand new one or restoration?
It was a restoration.
Restoration,
well,
yeah.
It was the first part was done. We went in. And we did work on a pub as you went to Balmullet. I can't think of the name. We did the convent in Ballinrobe. We did a school up in Bahola, not even Bahola, but up the village. And we were all over the place.
So schools and churches were the big thing, were they?
Schools and churches, yeah.
Did you do any of them in Westport?
The first, as you go to Morrisk, and before you go over the barrier, there's a house in under the trees there.
There is, yeah.
That would belong to Frank Gill. It was built for Frank Gill
By the Coxes and
in there, and that was the first house I was on.
how long ago? What age were you then?
Oh, I was only probably about let's see, about 1963, 60, about 90. It was about between. I left in 57 and I started in 50, so roughly about in between, about maybe 54, 55, 50, round about there. And then we built another one for up as you go up to the side road there where the Hewson used to live up there. We built another house there. And we built them all over the place.